Howdy, I'm Jason Marino, and I want to talk to you today about fitness. Now, fitness is oftentimes a word that can be very specific, like go to the gym, or do yoga, or eat better. Now, all of these are really important, and these are things that we should consider. But I want to look at fitness in the overall sense of our physical body. Now, when we think about our physical body, oftentimes Christians will look at physical fitness as sort of like an extra thought. So it's like something that we do whenever we want to get to know people, but it's more of a side thing, not really connected to spirituality. The difficulty is with that idea is that our physical form is integral to who we are. Everything about us is done through our body. If we have a particular migraine because we didn't work out really well or take care of ourselves or drink enough water, then we can't end up talking to other people or caring for our neighbor, or we sometimes say the wrong thing to our kids. Or oftentimes is that when we discover that we're just not in the best physical shape, we become insecure and we snap at people, or we don't go out to do the things we would have enjoyed anyway. And oftentimes then, even the things that church fathers had thought or said in the past, many of them were clouded or changed because of the issues that they faced physically. I mean, knowing that much of Martin Luther's writings ended up connecting with his irritable bowels and other physical ailments that he had. Discussions about whether or not there was some sort of brain issue going on when he had his spiritual torments. Or even looking at Paul saying to a young pastor, drink a little bit of wine and it'll settle your stomach. Our physical body is integral to who we are. And taking it for granted is not an option. And it's not an afterthought. We are meant to live out our spiritual lives in our physical lives. Now, each of us is unique and different. We have our own limitations. Some of us are tall, some of us are less so. Some of us have broad shoulders and some of us are petite. Some of us have all sorts of different bodies, and some of us may be lacking in something that we feel we wish we had, that others do. There are all sorts of limitations that we have. Just having one set of limitations doesn't make us more or less worthy of whatever life that we wish to live than anybody else. So with that in mind, so we have to ask ourselves questions of what we want to do with the body that we have. Not the body that we'd like to have, not the body that we think somebody else has, but rather, what is it that we can have with this body that we do have? And it's not just the fact of what we can do right now, but also if we pushed ourselves, if we tried to become more of what we want to be, what could this physical form become? As we pursue that, as we consider those options, we don't need to be comparing ourselves to anybody else. We merely need to be asking, who is it that I can be in relation to who it is I want to be? And so if we start asking the question of who it is we want to be, then that motivation will help us to change and to grow physically, even as we grow spiritually.